is Theis mock assessment video for Intermediate Junior 1, March 21st, 2014. Our first pose will be Uttita Parsha Hasta Padangusthasana. Take a strap. And watch from behind. Side and behind. In the classic pose, I fold the first toe and extend my leg and balance. Tonight, we'll be using the wall and a strap for support. From Tadasana, I reach here, just measure with my fingertips here at the wall, take my foot to the wall, arm is straight. With this leg, I press back, this leg descends, and I ascend the sides of my chest. Your turn. Stand in Tadasana. Fingertips lightly touching the wall to measure. Take your left hand on your waist and take your right foot to the wall. Put your strap across the bottom of the ball of your right foot. Hold the strap as close as you can to your foot. Your right arm is straight. Take your left hand to your waist. Take a look down at your left foot. Make sure that that foot is parallel to the outer edge of your mat here that's in the center of the room. Press the left thigh back strongly. Keep your left hand on your waist so that you feel the left hip bone there. Take it to the pelvic rim. Descend the right thigh. Keep your eyes up. Ascend the sides of the chest. And release. Turn around to the other side. Measure. Stand in Tadasana. Take your left foot to the wall without disturbing your right leg. Take the foot at least as high as your hip. That's a little too high. Straighten both legs. Take your right hand to your waist. Look straight ahead. Press the right thigh back strongly. Descend the left thigh. Ascend the sides of your chest. Lift up through the side chest panel. Look straight ahead. And release. Jump down, use your space, please. Come behind me. Notice how, if I turn this thigh more from the inner thigh to the outer thigh, how this buttock descends. The action is the same in the arm. Can you see my arm? Mm-hmm. I turn from my inner arm to my outer arm so that as this femur descends, this arm lifts up and I create more space in my side chest panels. Stand facing this direction. Stand in Tadasana. Be in Tadasana. Instead of anticipating, be in Tadasana. Without disturbing the left leg. Take the right leg up to the wall. Have the right foot at least as high as your hip. Go higher if you can. Hold the strap as close to your right foot as you can. The right arm is straight. Stand more on the left heel, the back of the left heel, and press down with the inner left heel strongly. Take the left thigh back, keep your left hand on your left hip. Turn the right thigh from the inner thigh to the outer thigh and descend the right buttock. Same action with the right arm. Turn the right arm from the inner to the outer arm and reach that right upper arm bone up. Draw the shoulder blade down and draw this up. Even if you have to lift the shoulder, reach up through that right upper arm bone. And release. Turn to the other side. If you have to, measure again. So Cindy, you're slightly too far away from the wall. And Josh, you're slightly too far. Step into the wall just slightly. Okay. Stand in Tadasana. And without disturbing the right leg, take the left leg up. Take your right hand to your right hip. So can you hold a little closer there and get it closer and really press that foot into the wall. Stand more on the inner right heel. Take your right hand to your waist. Stand more on your inner right heel. And take the right thigh back strongly. Descend the left femur bone and turn the left thigh from the inner thigh to the outer thigh to descend the left buttock. Same action with the left arm. Rotate the upper left arm from the inner arm to the outer arm and then reach up through that left upper arm bone to create more space in your side chest panels. Even if you have to lift the shoulder, but externally rotate down, really reach up with it without taking the shoulder, without shrugging the shoulder. And release. Take the strap, you'll need a strap, fold your mat in half and take the short into the wall, and we'll need a block. Station. This is on. Yes. Can I use your space? Make a loop with your strap. It will be above the elbows, and it will be a little more narrow than for Salama Sarvasana for shoulder stand. So go ahead and take your block up against the wall and place your strap on. I'll let you use this one so you can just put that down. Come to either side and come close in toward the wall so that you can see my hands. This is Pincha Mayurasana. It translates as peacock tail feather pose. Come close. I spread my hands well, and I take just the bases of the index fingers to the front edge of the block, and I stretch my thumbs. Notice that the webbing between my thumbs and my index fingers is not jammed up into the block. Okay? I press my inner wrist and then watch. As I walk my toes in, I push my thumbs to move my shoulders away from the wall. Walk in. Push my thumbs to move my shoulders away from the wall. One leg pushes, one leg kicks. And once I'm up, I drag my buttock flesh up towards my heels and then slide my heels up the wall. To come down, I leave one heel at the wall as long as possible, and I come down with control. That might be just the right size for you. Place your strap just above your elbows.
Could I get a second block or a longer block?
A longer block. Jim, do you need a longer block also?
I grabbed the longer one.
Okay. Cindy, do you need a longer block? Okay. Place your fingers in line with the front edge of the block. Stretch your thumbs so that just the very tips of your thumbs are touching the block. You don't want the thumbs jammed into the block, and you don't want the webbings of the hands between the index fingers and thumbs to be touching the block either. Now, press the inner wrist down firmly. Pin the inner wrist down. Curl your toes under, lift your hips, look towards the block, walk your toes in. As you walk your toes in, now press your thumbs to move your shoulders away from the wall. Walk the feet in again, press your thumbs, move your shoulders away from the wall. To come up, one leg presses, one leg kicks. Once you're up, drag your buttock flesh. Pull your buttock flesh up towards your heels. And then slide your heels up the wall. And then leave one leg up at the wall. Come down with control. And rest for a moment. We'll do it once more. Okay, position yourself. Flare the hands. Spread the palms. Press the inner wrist down firmly. Don't allow the inner wrist to lift up as you now lift your hips up. Look towards your block. Walk in. Press the thumbs to move your shoulders away from the wall. Walk in. Press your thumbs to move your shoulders away from the wall. And then kick up. Once you're up, internally rotate the thighs. From the outer thighs to the inner thighs, roll in. Pull your buttock flesh up towards your knees. Slide your heels up the wall. Okay, let me help you this way. Ready? And kick hard. Kick hard. There you go. Now pull up through your heels. I've got you. You ready to come down? One leg at a time. And rest. Come on up. Put the blocks away. Put the straps off to the side. Take one blanket. So let's go ahead and move these straps off to the side. I placed the blanket down about 5 or 6 inches away from the wall if you were taller, and about 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches away from the wall if you're my size. Okay? So go ahead and place your blankets and then come to watch. This pose is Salambra Shirshasana, full head balance. We've all learned Salambra Shirshasana. Now we're going to learn to balance away from the wall. So come close as you did to watch for Pincha Mayurasana. I interlace my fingers and place my hands down. My elbows are directly underneath my shoulders. I press my inner wrists down into my outer wrists. I place my head down and slide my head into my hands. Watch. Just like we did in Pincha Mayurasana, as I walk my toes in, I press my wrist to lift my shoulders away from the wall. Same thing. Walk in, press my wrist to lift my shoulders away from the wall. Then to come up, I just take a lip hop, take my toes to the wall. I press my toes into the wall to lift my buttock flesh toward my knees. And I take one leg up, then the other, and balance. Right? And then I come out in reverse. I keep my buttock flesh lifting up towards the ceiling. The toes come back to the wall. I keep my shoulders lifting up away from my ears as I tuck my knees in close and come down with control. So Jim, Cindy, and Josh, you might want to be a little farther away from the wall than you currently are. Interlace your fingers. See that your inner elbows line up with your inner armpits. Interlace your fingers all the way down to the roots of the webbings of the fingers. Stack your inner wrist directly on top of your outer wrist and press your outer wrist firmly into the blanket. Take your head down and then slide your head into your hands. Keep pressing your inner wrist down, curl your toes under, lift your hips, and as you did in Mayurasana, start walking your toes in. As you walk your toes in, press your wrists and move your shoulders away from the wall. Keep your knees in close and take a little hop up with the knees bent. Take just your toes, just your toes, just your toes. You okay? I'm so sorry, Jim. That's okay. You're fine. With the toes at the wall, pull the buttock flesh up towards your knees. Pull the buttock flesh up towards your knees. More, Sharon. So not the feet at the wall. Just take your toes. I'm going to be a little bit close to the wall. Now really pull the buttock flesh up, 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 up. That's it. And then take one leg up, and then the other leg. It's okay, just stay down in child's pose. It's okay. Stay down in child's pose. It's okay. Once you're up, fully stretch your legs. Join the inner edges of the feet. Stretch up through your heels. Turn the thighs, from the outer thighs to the inner thighs. Turn the thighs in and take the inner groins toward the wall behind you. Pull your buttock flesh up towards your heels. Press your wrists down, move your shoulders away from the wall. And then to come down, bend your knees, take your toes to the wall. We come down in reverse. Keep your buttock flesh lifting. Squeeze your knees together, keep your knees in close, come down in control. And rest in child's pose. Completely rest. Okay, and come up. We'll need one chair and 5 blankets and your sticky mat. So we'll need 4 more blankets and a chair. Facing the wall. And your 5 blankets will stack right in front of your chair. So go ahead and set up like this, and then I will show you the pose. Pose is Dvipada Viparita Dandasana. Dvi means 2, padas are your feet. Viparita means inverted, and Dandasana is staff pose. So this is 2-footed inverted staff pose. I'm going to ask you to sort of come to the sides. You don't have to be terribly close, but come to the sides where you can see my profile. Watch how I slide my buttocks off the back of the chair to catch my buttock flesh and pull this way so that my buttock flesh is being dragged towards my knees. Notice that my toes are at the wall, okay? And then I press down into the chair, lift my chest, and bring my shoulder blades onto the back seat of the chair. Head relaxes back. I pause here for a moment. With my hands, I pull down the chair to lift my chest, and then I push the chair away until just my hair is touching the blankets.
I rest my hands on my chin here, and the weight of my hands helps bring my head a little closer to the blanket. I spend some time here. Then I take my hands behind my head, like we did for Shirshasana. This is Shirshasana now. I roll my triceps in toward my face, and then I press my forearms and my elbows down into the blankets to lift my chest. To come out, I release my hands, and I use the strength of my arms and legs to come up. My head is the very last thing to come up.
So the taller people, you might want to be a little bit farther away from the wall. Sit towards the back of the edge of the chair, and with your hands on the back of the chair, pull down here and lift your chest up. So hold on to the back of the chair, keep this back, feel back. So keep your chest nice and lifted. Now, take your buttock flesh through the back seat of the chair, all the way through the back seat of the chair, and hook your buttock flesh on the back seat of the chair, and then drag your buttocks back towards the center of the room so that your buttock flesh is now being dragged towards your knees. Press your elbows down into the seat of the chair. Stay with me, guys. Don't go all the way down yet. Keep your elbows in the seat of the chair, and lift your chest. Look straight ahead. Look up. And keep coiling the spine over now as you lie back with your shoulder blades still on the chair. So your shoulder blades are not off the chair. Feet are hip distance apart and parallel to each other. Toes are pressing into the wall. Hold on to the back seat of the chair here. Now flare the hands again. Flare the hands again and pull down on the back of the chair to lift your chest more. Then push the back of the chair away from you slightly until just your hair is touching the blankets below. Release your hands. Take the back of your hands to your chin and rest the back of your hands on your chin, allowing the weight of your arms to draw your head a little closer to the blankets. Just hang out here for a few moments. Take your attention back to your legs. The soles of the feet, the entire soles of the feet are pressing firmly into the floor. Roll your thighs in from the outer thighs to the inner thighs and take your tailbone toward your knees. Now, slide your hands behind your head as you did in Salama Shirshasana. Interlace the fingers. Roll your triceps in toward each other. And then press your forearms and elbows down into the blankets. So Jim, walk your hands. Can you release your fingers slightly and walk your hands back behind your head farther? At some point, we hope to find Sthira Sukham Asana in our pose. We hope to find that steadiness and ease in our pose. See if you can find that here. To come out, press your feet firmly, release your hands, keep your head back. Use the strength of your arms and your legs. Lift from your sternum to come up. And once you're up, sit up straight. you can put the chairs away now. In the last two poses, you'll only need your mat and 2 blankets. We'll put everything else away. For shoulder balance, but we'll only be using 2 blankets. So we'll set up just like this. You'll need your strap. No, be in a straight line, please. This pose is Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, which is dropping over into bridge pose from shoulder stand. Okay? We come through it first through Halasana. Then I use this opportunity of Halasana to really roll as much as I can to the top of my shoulders. Now wash my hands. When I take my hands to my back, I walk my hands down my back as close as I can get them to my shoulder blades, but look at my fingers. They point up towards the ceiling, not towards each other. My fingertips point up toward the ceiling. And then to come up into Salamba Sarvangasana, we'll come up with bent knees like we did for Salamba Shirshasana. So here I am in Salamba Sarvangasana. Okay. Now to come into Setu Bandha, we'll do it one leg at a time. One leg acts as a counterbalance. This knee bends, right? Just like Shirshasana. I'm still pulling my buttock flesh up toward the ceiling, and I drop that foot to the floor. Come back up into Salamba Sarvangasana. Second leg. Back up. And then we'll do both legs at the same time. Knees bend, buttock flesh up. Both feet come to the floor. Once I get my feet to the floor, I push my feet into the floor, and then to lift my hips, and then I press my outer arms down to lift my chest. And then I come back into Salamba Sarvangasana, and come out through Halasana. And slide completely off the blankets. First take Halasana and leave your strap just on one arm to begin with. Come into Halasana. Put your strap on. Take all 10 toes to the floor. So curl those toes under and press all 10 toes into the floor. Once you put on your strap, straighten your legs. Once you put on your strap, walk your hands down your back as far as you can toward your shoulder blades. And instead of having your fingertips pointing towards one another, spin the hands so that the fingers and the thumbs point straight up toward the ceiling. Straight legs. strong legs. Press the toe mounts into the floor. We'll come into Salama Sarvangasana. Too far off your blanket. I'm going to walk you back. We're going to come into Salama Sarvangasana with bent knees. Bend the knees and point the knees straight up toward the ceiling, as we did in Salama Shirshasana. Stretch the knees toward the ceiling, point the toes toward the floor, and pull the buttocks up toward the knees. Walk your hands down your back. Stretch the legs straight up into Salama Sarvangasana. Press the upper arm bones down to lift the chest. Drag the buttock flesh up toward the heels. Turn the thighs from the outer thighs to the inner thighs and move the inner groins toward the ropes ball behind you. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. One leg at a time. Take the left leg towards the center of the room slightly to counterbalance. Bend the right knee and take the right toes to the floor. Just slightly touch and come back up. Come back to Salama Sarvangasana. We'll do the other leg. Take the left leg into the center of the room to counterbalance, and then touch the right toes to the floor. Come back up. Come all the way back to Salama Sarvangasana. Are you okay?
Yeah. I just took my foot step to the back.
Okay. Now we will do both legs at the same time. Bend the knees. Stretch the knees toward the ceiling. Stretch the knees toward the ceiling strongly. Pull the buttock flesh up towards your knees and take both feet down. I got you. Take the feet to the chair.
I'm having a wrist issue.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and come back up. Once your feet are on the floor, press the feet into the floor, lift the tailbone, and then come back into Salama Sarvangasana. You okay? Stay in Halasana. And then come into Halasana. And slowly roll out. Move the belt, roll out until your shoulders are on the floor. To your right side and come up. The last pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana. You'll have two blankets, a strap, and your mat. Fold your mat in half just the way it is, and fold your blankets in half one more time, just like this. And then I'll ask that you stagger. So every other, let's see, starting with Cindy, let's pull forward. That's fine. Have your blankets off to the side. And turn your mat this way. Blankets and strap off to the side. Cindy, can I show a chair in space? Sure. Ardha Matsyendrasana is half Lord of the Fishes pose. This is a twist. Watch first from behind as this is a twist, I'm going to have you moving around to see what I do. From Dandasana, I take this foot underneath my buttock bones. Notice that this foot is parallel to my buttock bones. This buttock bone rests on the heel. This buttock bone rests on the first toe mound. I'm going to come around this way. If I'm having trouble balancing, if balance is an issue, I put a blanket between my foot and my buttocks. Okay. This leg crosses over, and the entire foot presses into the floor. I take this elbow to the outside of the knee, and I walk this elbow down until I'm as close to the outer armpit, to the outside of this knee as possible. And I reach around here and see if I can touch my foot. In fact, thank you. In fact, I'll just go ahead and put this strap on in case I need it. So reach around. If I can touch my foot and take hold, great. If not, here's the strap. This hand swings behind, and from here, I pull on that foot to lift up through this armpit, and then I twist. Let's do it. We'll face the window wall. Sit in Dandasana. Press the fingertips into the floor beside your hips and sit up straight and tall. Have your blankets and your strap nearby. Take the left foot underneath your buttocks so that you are sitting with the left buttock bone on the left inner heel and the right buttock bone on the base of the first toe mound. The left foot is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Everyone go ahead and put a blanket between your foot and your buttocks. Cross the right leg over the left and take the strap across the right foot. Press the entire right foot down into the floor, sit up straight and tall. Interlace your fingers around that right shin and hug that right shin and sit up straight. Okay. Extend your left arm up. Reach through your left arm. Turn to your right and take your elbow to the outside of that right knee. Start walking that elbow down, down, down. Now swing, turn that palm to face the floor, the left palm to face the floor, and take that arm around and see if you can take hold of your right foot. If not, take hold of your strap. How's it going? Here, strap.
Yeah, I'd like to use the foot. Like that.
Then pull on the strap of the foot and lift up through your left armpit. Swing the right arm around. Lift your chest. And release. Extend the legs back into Dandasana. Remove the blanket that you're sitting on. Sit in Dandasana. Fingertips to the floor, sit up straight. Take the right foot underneath you. Cross the left leg over the right. Sit on the blanket. If balance is an issue, let's just sit on a higher blanket. Let me hold it in half on one side. There you go. That'll make a difference. Cross the left leg over the right. Have the strap across the left foot. And then interlace your fingers. Make the opposite finger interlace this time. And then hug that left shin in tight. Lift your sternum. Press the sole of the left foot firmly. Take the right arm up. Reach through the right arm. Turn to your left. And then hook the elbow on the outside of the left knee and start walking that arm down. At some point, you have to internally rotate that right arm to reach around and take hold of either your foot or the strap. Take hold of something, whether it's the foot or the strap. And then externally rotate that right arm again from the inner arm to the outer arm. and reach up through that right armpit. Keep your eyes up. And then swing the left arm behind you. And twist. Look at me over here, guys. Twist this way. Twist. Lift your sternum. And release. Stretch your legs out into Dandasana. Can I use your space, please? Stand up and watch, please. Come this way. So this foot needs to move back, right? So I unstick the skin here slightly, and I move this foot as far back as I can. Okay? That's going to allow me to get more of the outside of this shoulder down to the outside of this knee. I even take and pull this knee across the midline, reach in here and move the flesh of my abdomen around so that I can walk this arm down and take hold of this foot. Once I have hold of this, I don't want to collapse. I press this foot firmly, then I pull with my hand to lift my chest. This arm swings around, and from here I lift up as strongly as I can and twist. Okay. One more time. Sit in Dandasana. Press the fingertips into the floor beside your hips. Press the backs of the thighs down. Extend through your inner heels. Lift your sternum. Keep as much of Dandasana as you can in your chest and your side chest panels and your sternum as you take your right foot underneath you. No, not Virasana, Jim. Come through the inside. Come through the inside. So stretch your leg back out into Dandasana. And come, what I mean is come through the inside this way. Okay? Instead of, just like that. So the right buttock bone is sitting on the right inner heel, and the left buttock bone is sitting on the big toe mound, the first toe mound. Cross the left leg over the right, and bring that left foot as far back as you can. Unstick the skin between the legs, and really move that left foot back so that the entire sole of the left foot, and especially the left first toe mound, is pressing firmly. Interlace your fingers and hug that shin in. Now reach up through your right arm, reach up through your right arm, reach up through your right arm. Start turning to the left. Hook the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Take your left hand in and pull your belly flesh through and around on the outside of that thigh, on the outside of the left thigh. And then take hold of either the strap or your foot. That right foot still has to press down strongly. So you see, the more that you can walk this elbow down the outside of this knee, the closer you're going to get your hand to your foot. In fact, the closer you get, it makes it easier. Pull on the right foot and reach up through that right armpit. Take the left arm and swing it around behind you. And where you feel your left forearm pressing into your back ribs, pull your ribs in away from that. That's it. Draw it through your sternum and twist this direction. Look towards me and twist this direction. Keep your eyes up. Breathe. And release. Stretch your legs out into Dandasana. And we'll do the last side. Please breathe. Okay. Now take the right foot underneath you. Sorry, the left leg underneath you. Remember, the left foot is parallel to the front edge of your mat. You're sitting on the outer edge of that foot. That foot is still in Tadasana. You don't want that foot to settle underneath you. Put the blanket between your buttocks and your foot. Sit up straight. And now cross the right leg over the left. Bring that right foot back as far as you can. Unstick the skin between the right calf and the left thigh. And bring that foot back. Interlace the fingers. Make the opposite finger interlace this time. And and hug that shin in tight. Lift your chest. Press the entire sole of the left foot down strongly. Now extend your left arm up. Reach through your left arm and extend to the left side chest. Start turning to the right, but don't let your chest collapse. Don't let your eyes go down. Take the outer left armpit down as far as you can to the outer right knee. Take your right hand into your abdomen and pull the belly flesh to the right, creating more space there. Now walk. This time you have to internally rotate that left arm first to reach around and take hold of your foot or your strap. Again, close so that you can get your hand to the foot. Easy as it's going to be. Good job. Now pull on that foot and extend up through that left armpit. Now you externally rotate that left arm. Roll the left arm from the inner to the outer and lift your sternum. Swing the right arm behind you as far as you can. And where you feel your right forearm pressing into your back, pull those ribs in away from that arm. Lift your sternum. Don't look up or down. Eyes at the horizon of the eyes and turn